Okay, so here we are, another day off. Here we go. It's time to start. Ugh. Another day off. Oh, man. Sometimes I get off work and I'm barely functioning. I'm going to tell you that right now. And today, it's pretty much one of those days. Today was long, or at least it felt that way. And because of that, I don't have a lot to say here in this first part of the update other than I wish there was something to do. I wish there was something to do. You know, having people come over and hang out and everything like that, it's fine, it's cool. I've done it for a long time. I enjoy it for what it's worth. But right now, I want to do something like everybody's feeling this way. I know they are. Everybody's feeling this way. We want to do something. And it's really dragging on me right now. It is. So I'm going to get on here. I'm going to play on the internet, watch some YouTube, do some stuff like that. I don't know how this episode's going to turn out. Tonight, I'm probably going to do a whole bunch of fucking nothing, and it's going to drive me crazy. And then tomorrow, I'm reserved to doing either the same thing that I've been doing, which is have a couple friends over, which we're just going to sit around in the house, or maybe I'll go find a place to eat. It's the only thing that we can do right now. Like, there's just nothing else available, really. Like, the arcade opened, and I'm like this close. But my logical brain tells me not to fuck around with that. It says, not enough people are vaccinated. You're not vaccinated, because I'm not. And I don't know about, hitting an arcade where 100 people have touched 100 things and coughed all over the equipment. You know they can't. It's not possible that they can sanitize the arcade after every customer. That's a load of bullshit. You know that's not happening. So yeah, round one is open, but I'm not going to go there. If I'm not going to go there, my only other option to do something to escape the mundane of our existence right now is to play more video games, which, guys, I love games. I've told you before, it's my primary hobby that I enjoy, but I've seen enough games. I've been playing games like crazy, way more than I often do, and I've been watching shows way more than I often do, and it's bleeding me. I've kind of tried to fall into my reading and whatnot and find other outlets, but I think I'm just reaching that point where I've been crammed in this situation for so long that it's really starting to eat at me, and I don't know. I'll find something. I'll pull myself out of it. I always do. I'll find a way. I don't know how or what I'm going to end up doing this weekend, but we'll see. That's the first part of the update. Yeah, it is. And here we are. End of day one. Nothing special. Really, nothing. I didn't do shit. But like I said, I didn't expect to. I can feel it. I can feel that there's something dragging on me. And I don't know exactly what it is. Well, I do. I do know what it is. And it's just that there's not a lot that I can really do about it. Let me adjust this. See, here's the thing. I would like to think that there's 1,000 things I'd like to do. But the more time you spend just hanging out in the house, just repeating the same shit over and over and over again, you start to not give a shit. You do. And I could see it. I could see it in the guys too. Like, I think this is another part of what was dragging on the group, of what caused that problem with such a bad episode. In fact, it would not shock me in the least to learn that that was a big part of it. It really wouldn't. It's just nothing happening. and there's nothing any of us can do, and it's not helping anybody. And like today, like I said, like there was, I don't know, all day today while I was at work, I was like, man, I'd love to do something. There's nothing we can do. And then I come home, and then sure enough, there really is nothing that I can do. And like, my daughter went outside in the back, and she was sledding and playing with one of her friends, and I came up here, I watched the music videos, I went downstairs, I ate, I watched The Lost Boys with my wife. That was fine. I mean, even that's something that, because me and my wife watch a lot of movies together. That's like a thing that we do. When we sit down for dinner, we knock off a movie on the shelf or something like that, or we pick a series. Like, we tend to like things like Kitchen Nightmares and things like that. But we like a lot of movies, and today we watched The Lost Boys. And it was fun to kind of look back on a movie that old and pick it apart and be like, oh my God, like, there are things about this that did not age well at all that are just awful. So we're making fun of things about, like, making fun of the vampires and making fun of, like, some of the powers that don't make any sense. And we're making fun of the fact that, like, Bill, the dude that plays Bill in Bill and Ted is one of the vampires. And it was something that completely slipped my mind. And I'd forgotten until I seen him. And I was like, you dick, evil Bill. And then we laughed, and like, we had a good time, but I can feel it. I can feel that tomorrow I got to do something. So far, it sounds like we have to make a trip out to Lowe's anyway for you know, normal shit that you got to do. So we're gonna make a trip out there, and I'm gonna pick up the stuff to you know, for the drains and whatnot. And I have a jacuzzi bathtub. I'm going to pick up a cleaner for that, so send it through the jets and whatnot. And I'm going to go out of my way when we do that to find a place to eat. Dang. All of a sudden I got these hiccups. Like, there's things I want to do that I just can't do. Like, I can't justify it. I know there are things that are open, like the pool halls are open. I could go to one of the pool halls and play pool. And I like billiards. That's something that I tend to like to do, and I'm not bad at it for that matter. I think it would take me some time to get back into it. I don't think I've played seriously since Gwen was born, but I used to play on, like, literally almost every single day. I used to play at least every single week. Like, every weekend, I would play against my friends, and I would make trips down to the billiards hall, and I would play there, and I'd play against people that I did know, people that I didn't know. And then I think the last time that I played somewhat semi-serious was a year ago, right before all the pandemic stuff hit. There's this arcade called Round One, and they have a set of pool tables. And for whatever reason, my daughter wanted to learn to play, so I went over there and I kind of taught her a little bit. And then after I kind of taught her how to play, there was like a group that wanted to play, and I played against a couple of them, and I did all right. I wasn't great. I did all right, which is one of those things, like, you have these skill sets and then you never use them. And then, like, that's another thing about this year. I'm trying to pick back up and, like, really relearn all the boxing stuff and the movements and the, you know, the head movements and all that, and really get it back in here again, because I know it, but, like, I'm incapable of doing some of it the way that I used to do it. And that's going to come down to age, but it's also going to come down to how well I take care of myself. So I'm working on things like that this year. That's a personal goal of mine this year, is to read a little more, is to write a little more like I used to, and to do these things that I've kind of left behind. And I'm doing all right. But we're all stuck at home. We're all doing nothing, and it's driving us nuts. And I can't justify going to a billiards hall where 100 people have touched 100 sticks, 100 tables, and 100 balls, and then I'm just going to go in there like there's no problem. And then at the same time, you could make the same argument, I guess, for going out to eat, but it's the safest. I know somebody washed that plate. And I guess my chances are less. There's like, it's like 2 people that handled the plate. Like the guy that set the plate up, he put it on the counter, the waitress grabbed it, brought it to me, or waiter, or either way. I don't know. It's less risky. I'm willing to, but I don't think I can justify going to like round 1 so I can play Star Wars video games and stuff like that, because there's this really cool video game that I kind of been aching to play. It's a simulation thing where you fly the X-Wing and whatnot, and it's really cool. We talked about it years back in another one of our videos, but like I can't justify going there, and there's been like 100-something people before me playing 100 different games before me. Like, there's no way they can sanitize that place. There's no way they can do anything to help us. So like, I basically just guarantee that I'm stupid enough to walk into a situation. And you know what? Believe what you want one way or another about all this stuff that's going on out there. I've seen the effects of people that get it. And I'm only willing to take certain risks. And that's not one of them. So that, once again, sticks me at home. I know I'm going on and on and on. We're not going anywhere. We're at the end of night 1, and all I'm doing is talking about how I'm not doing shit. We're done with night 1. So this was Friday. It was fine. I can't complain about the day, but I'm not exactly going to praise it either. Like, after we watched The Lost Boys, I came up here and I watched a couple YouTube videos on my watch later list. And then I debated playing video games. But I didn't. There is one game, however, that I almost bought, and I think I may buy it tomorrow. There's a Blizzard a Blizzard arcade thing that just came out. It costs like $20 or something like that. And I'm probably going to get it for the Wii. The Wii. I'm probably going to get it for the Switch because it has Rock and Roll Racing, and that will allow me to play Rock and Roll Racing on the Switch with anybody that comes over, as well as anybody that's dumb enough to play me online. And why do I say dumb enough? Because there are some games that I claim skill at, and I don't know why. I can't explain it, but Rock and Roll Racing is one of those games that I have played basically my entire life, and I'm damn good at it. Like, excruciatingly, irritatingly good at it, to the point where people don't want to play with me. So, I'm going to buy that. I could buy it on the computer. I was talking to a friend of mine, but I don't think that's what I'm going to do, because it just makes more sense for me to get it on the Switch, and then I can play it with whoever wants to come over and whoever wants to play it here, and I can play it online. It just makes sense. It just makes more sense to have it on the Switch and have it be portable. And it's, like I said, that's another thing. That's a big part of it. Portable. I could take it with me to Buffalo Wild Wings tomorrow if that's where we end up. I don't know where we'll end up. I don't know if we'll end up at something simple like that, or if I'll just gut the money and take us somewhere big. But I could take the Switch with me, and I could rock and roll race, and that's fucking awesome. So, okay, that's enough for this part of the update. We're nearing 11 minutes. We're not accomplishing anything except for sitting here. I'll do an update after tomorrow, after I've woke up and shaved and got myself put together and whatnot. So, yeah. Okay, so, took care of a couple of things here and there. Woke up, shaved, of course, did things like I'm supposed to do, and, got myself put together. I'm going to say something. It's a small something, but I'm going to say it. I am not sponsored in any way whatsoever. Of course, you know that. I don't make any damn money. But I'm not sponsored in any way by that Dollar Shave Club. But damn, I can understand why so many people are okay with being sponsored by Dollar Shave Club. And I'm not talking about the money you'd get from the sponsorship. Like, about a week or two ago, I was at a Kroger's and I saw this join the Dollar Shave Club thing. And it's one of those brands I hear all the time, so I'm like, I have been curious. So I pick up the razor. I've shaved with it. Like, this will be my 4th time shaving with it. And damn, it is nice. It feels great. Like, it really does. It may be the best razor I have ever used in my life. Strange little update of information here, but it is part of our daily activity, shave and get yourself put together. And for what that razor costs, not even for what it costs, it may very well be the best razor I've ever used. Now, a couple of things. One, they released this Blizzard Arcade thing. I talked about it on the last part of the update, and I did buy it. And it's damn impressive. It's damn impressive because I love rock and roll racing. It may literally, if I had to do a top 10 list of my all-time favorite games, like the biggest, best games that I have ever played in my life, that I would take with me to a sad desert island with an emulator that plays any game, it's in my top 10 list. Like, it's easily in my top 10 list. One of the best games I have ever played. I don't know why, it just is, okay? I spent so much time with that game, and I go and I get it, and it's not just the game, it's updated. It's updated and modified in ways that I did not see coming. It is a literal remastery where it looks a little bit better, but it sacrificed nothing of the original the original art style to make it look better. It also plays the exact same as it used to, but the audio is better. Larry has more stuff to say, so he's an actual announcer that actually announces races, announces things like the sponsors that make the races happen and things like that, and he talks about the racers, and it's interesting. It's legitimately interesting for somebody like me that's played this game for so long to see the extra graphics where my eyes can pick out exactly where things used to not be or where things used to not happen. Also, it has a 4-player mode now, so you could play 4 people, which is craziness, and it has 16:9 high definition, so it fits the whole TV while you play, and it doesn't look like a stretched, shitty image in order to do this, which is another thing that just amazing. So many good things about it, and yet I'm playing it, and I know I just sounded like I was all gung-ho, happy Bill, and then all of a sudden I'm like, meh. But really, like, I can't get myself out of this mindset. And then, I said I was gonna find something to do today, and if nothing else, it was just gonna be something simple like go to eat, and yeah. Then the next thing I know, I walk downstairs and like we're already prepping dinner, so like, I don't know. I can't get my mind out of this spot. And then I had this idea, like, maybe I should do something that's somewhat familiar and somewhat fun. So now my mind is going back to, like, games that I know, but games aren't solving my problem. I'm noticing that. I have to, I don't know. Man, this weekend is dragging me bad. I can't seem to get my attitude right. Shame. It really is. I don't know. I'm fighting. Maybe I should play some Final Fantasy VI because it's like a comfort game. It's one of my top 10 games, but Rock and Roll Racing is one of the greatest games of my life, and it's not doing it either. So games are not the answer. And I feel like, hey, maybe I should make one of the Gunplas. I have a Zagok, Char's Zigok, that's ready to be made. But then my mind goes, like, that's a lot of effort. It's really not, but everything feels effort right now. I don't know. This weekend is kicking my ass. We'll see. We'll see if I can pull myself out of this. Okay, so I'm back. My mood is a bit better. Not doing too bad, in all honesty. And I got something pretty cool that I'm going to do an actual episode on. So I'm going to set up the lights, things like that. Spinning! Sorry about that. I'm doing better, if you can't tell. Here's the thing. I took a trip. To the mall, walked around, and man, I don't know if I'm just... Here's the thing. I had to go to Lowe's to pick some stuff up. So we went to Lowe's and we picked some stuff up. After we did the thing we had to do, I told my wife, I was like, I know that you're preparing the buttermilk chicken and everything, and I know that, like, we've got this going on and that going on, and I feel like a drag. And I got talking with her for a little while, and we finally decided, we're early enough. We'll go to Osaka. So we went to this place that we like to eat called Osaka. It's one of those grill places where they make the food like right there while you're watching them, and they swing the stuff around and they do all kinds of tricks and shit like that. And so we ate there. We had their lunch special. It's one of those things that's so ridiculously filling you don't eat for the rest of the day. I don't, personally. So ate that, was feeling pretty good, left there, and then I was like, I'm not ready to go back. I want to feel like we did something. And she was like, I get you. I was like, I know that we have friends that come over and everything. They're not doing it for me right now. They're not. I mean, look, I love my friends. They're my family. More so than a good portion of my family, if you want the truth. In fact, more so than relatively 90% or more of my family. My friends are my family. And so I mean no disrespect when I say that I was in this stupor. I don't want them to come over. I don't want to see anybody. I don't want to do anything like that. I had to get out of this funk. So we went and did that, and then we went over to the mall and we walked around, and I was like, ugh, I feel old as shit. The only thing out here are clothing stores now, and everything's fucking gone. The GameStop is gone. The electronics boutique is gone. The electronics store that was there is gone. The Hobby Lobby is gone. The original toy store that was there is gone. There's a new toy store, which is okay. There's a place called FYE. There's a Hot Topic, which I kind of go to sometimes. And there's a fourth one. There's a... Spencer's, and that's it. There used to be a place called Off the Wall that sold like weapons and a bunch of cool stuff, and like those like gothic fairies and stuff. Cool to walk through, if nothing else. Like, I like Grim Reapers and Dark Fairies and shit like that. I never buy those statues, but I like them. I think they're cool. So like, I had no problem walking through those places, and now here we are here, and there's like 3, maybe 4 stores if I'm lucky in the entire mall. I'm like, am I that fucking old? Is my generation past? Like, there's nothing but clothing stores in my mall. Nothing. It's clothing store after clothing store after clothing store, and then there's like a furniture store in there, and like a couple other random things that only matter when they absolutely have to matter. It kills me. It makes me feel old as shit. It really does, to walk through the mall and like look at everybody, and I see that the mall is doing business, so I'm like, is it me? Is it me? Am I old as shit now? I don't know. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm old as shit. Maybe Bill's old as shit. Maybe 37 is where Bill finally reaches a level of old where he has to admit that now most of his shopping and shit has to be done online. There's a lot, like all the game stores and whatnot are dying, and things like that, and even going out to do some of the things I like to do. Like, I like electronics, like cameras, and I like this like vlogging type stuff. I like doing this. But it's harder and harder and harder for me to do it without just ordering shit offline, and I don't like to do that. I like to have hands-on experience with the stuff that I'm going to add to the shelf or whatever, and it's becoming harder and harder to do so. Well, we decided to go out to Mega. I walked around for a while. I bought my wife this little stuffed animal thing, which is kind of neat. He's a dude from Animal Crossing. He's the dude that when you forgot to save your game or whatever, he'd come up and bitch at you for like literally 15 minutes of text while you're just like, okay, I get it, I'm fucking sorry. Like, and so I buy her that. I buy 2 boxes of Pocky, and then I stumble across something that was actually pretty cool. And I'm going to do an actual video on that here not too long from now, because I got an Ayane. Ayane. The reason that's really cool to me is I love Dead or Alive. Huge into Dead or Alive. I love Dead or Alive. I believe it is the greatest fighting game I have ever played. I don't care. I'm telling you, I feel like it is. It has the best fighting system of any game that I can think of in terms of fighting. It feels fluid. It never feels cheap. And whenever I lose, like, I feel like I lost because I actually legitimately lost. I have never really felt cheated at Dead or Alive. You can't turtle me in Dead or Alive. You can't pull off some cheap trick that has no block to it. Every grab you do can be countered. Every main attack you do can be countered. It's all about thinking about what the other person is doing and reacting like a real fight to counteract the attacks of the other person, intercept, redirect, and put your pain on them while avoiding the pain that they're going to put on you. And it's fast and fluid. Not one character, except for maybe when they add characters that don't fucking belong in Dead or Alive, like the guys from Virtua Fighter 5. Every character in Dead or Alive feels fluid and usable. That's a huge deal to me because I can't tell you how often I pick guys in Street Fighter, and I have like 5 or 6 guys that I'm pretty good with, and the rest of the roster I can't really fuck with. And that's true for a lot of fighting games out there. I tend to like 1 or 2 or 3 people, and then it's tough. It takes a long time to get into other people. Dead or Alive takes no time at all to pick any character you want and jump in. Getting good is the trick, and that should be the way it is. Any novice fool can throw and chain together left-right punches with an added kick. And these fighters, in terms of Dead or Alive and the fluidity of the system where you create the combos, it does work that well. Basic level fighting can still be very clever, very instinct fighting. And at the same time, it can be amazing when you get good enough to set yourself apart from the, hey, I'm just kinda good. I like the game. No, I'm fucking good at the game. That's a huge difference when you get to that level. Dead or Alive, my fighting game. It is. But surprisingly so, I love Dead or Alive as a video game. I love Dead or Alive in terms of artwork. I do. I really do. I love the characters and the art design and the stylistic choices. I love Dead or Alive as an ecchi property, because let's be honest, it is, and I don't give a shit. I have no qualms about that. I have no problem with sexuality in some games. And sometimes, especially in Dead or Alive, since it was created on that aspect, it belongs there. I'm the kind of guy that doesn't hate something like Senran Kagura. I could live without the kid. Like, it's hard to explain. I don't hate Senran Kagura for what it is what I'm going to say. I dislike things about Senran Kagura, without a doubt. But for the purpose of why it was built to be basically an ecchi series, whatever. That matches the kind of books that it was created from, like Battle Vixens. And if it wouldn't have been that, I don't think it would have mattered in terms of what it wanted to do. It's never going to be a serious fighter because that's not what it wants to be. Where Dead or Alive is an incredibly serious fighter, but it was built with sex appeal in mind. And that was part of what sold it, and that's part of, technically, in my opinion, what should continue to sell it. And if I'm in the minority here, I don't give a shit. I don't. We all have little quips and little things that we'll defend, and as far as I'm concerned, Dead or Alive is a sex appeal product. Still one of the greatest fighting systems, still the greatest fighting system I've ever used, but it's got sexuality at its core, and it should not be afraid to utilize it because that's part of what it created. It's part of its entire reasoning. So, yes, I like Dead or Alive in its design. I like Dead or Alive as a fighting game. I like it in its design and overall concept of characters. I like it for its sexuality ecchi, and I even will admit I'm 100% not against the idea that you can constantly go out and find whatever kind of Dead or Alive hentai you're looking for, okay? Not ashamed. Don't give a shit. Don't give a shit. It's part of what it is. And look, you've heard it before, life is only a couple of things, really, and you want to boil it down to its absolute basics, it's sex and politics, well, then I'm not ashamed. I'm sorry. I'm not. But I have no Dead or Alive property. None. I don't have a little character. I don't have a side thing. I don't have a statue. I don't have nothing. So now I do. I have one thing, and I'm going to unbox that thing for the show later on. I got this. And she looks pretty sweet. Now, this is Ninja Gaiden, yes. But Ninja Gaiden is a property that exists inside of the Dead or Alive universe. And I say inside of the Dead or Alive universe, not that Dead or Alive exists in the Ninja Gaiden universe, because from my point of view, the story has expanded to include so much now that really Ninja Gaiden is a sub-part of the Dead or Alive universe now. And I think Dead or Alive should be far from done. Dead or Alive has learned to utilize the fact that it has Ryu Hayabusa and Ninja Gaiden, and it has done its whole beach volleyball thing. Whatever. Like I said, I'm fine with it because I'm fine with what the series chose to sell. And it has also been an absolute wonderful thing for fighting games, things like that. But, you know, I don't think they're done. I wouldn't be surprised, and I wouldn't be shocked at all if they could take that fighting system and utilize a wrestling game off of it with Tina, and like you could utilize Tina Bass and La Mariposa and actually branch off into something else. I could go on forever in terms of something like this, but I do have an episode that I'm going to get to where I unbox that, and we're going to test the camera's ability to really check out a figure when we do this, because I'm going to put it down and move the character around and everything like that, and I'm really going to get some solid images of it and everything so that people can see while I'm talking about it. We'll see how it turns out. I'm in a better place, and in a better place right now where I am, that really makes me happy, because I feel like I can go downstairs and I can hang out and I can play some rock and roll racing and truly enjoy it. And yeah, I'm in a much better mindset now. But man, that since the end of Wednesday when I got off work, I have been in this bad stupor. And it ran through all of Thursday, and it ran through all of Friday, and now I'm finally kind of coming out of it, and thank God. I'll do more updates as the day goes on or whatever. Okay, so here we are getting ready for the Sunday, the last days off. Got myself up, got myself fairly put together and whatnot. And my daughter this is her first time experiencing it. She is just now experiencing what it means, what New Age gaming problem. She's experiencing the newest problem with New Age gaming. Whether you buy a game physically or you get it digitally, and she's the kind of person, she's young, she doesn't care about necessarily owning the game when she can just download it off the store digitally. But guess what? That takes space, and the internal storage capacity of the Switch it's a joke. It's an absolute joke. Laughable, to say the least. And because of that, she can't get what she wanted. She is interested in playing the DC Universe Online game, until she just tried to download it. And then she says, "Oh, I gotta clear some stuff." And I said, "To what?" And she's like, "To 17. So I go and I look at it, and it wants like 17.8 gigs. And I was like, "Not possible." She's like, "Why?" And I was like, "Well, let me put it to you this way. I have a 60 gig card in my Switch. And these are the games I have on that 60 gig card. Decent, right? Got some games. But you have a completely different problem. See my operating system over here on the internals? The only thing I have on the internal of my system is the operating system. And it says that I've only got 21 gigs left. So to put this into perspective for you, this would mean that you would need to basically delete every single thing on your Switch so that you could play this one game. This one game. Like, holy shit. It's outrageous. It's outrageous. And it's not a situation that corrects itself or something like that. There's not like a better version of the Switch you can buy. It just sucks. So that's the start of my day, is inevitably this was bound to happen. She was going to come across it. Even if she doesn't end up playing this game, this was going to happen because she buys games digitally. So one way or another, this was a coming. And here we are, entering the very first time that she's ever experienced this kind of a problem. She needs internal storage. And quite frankly, my wife will eventually need internal storage as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably delete what's on my card, because most of it doesn't matter, to be fair. Any of the games that are on the card, as long as I keep the save data and transfer all that over to the main stuff, then I can pull that card and I can put it in hers, and I'll go buy a new card or whatever. It'll work out. It'll work out because my wife doesn't play nearly as much as me, so a 60 is fine. So I'm probably going to buy one of the 100, like one of the 100 plus cards, whatever they have, depending. I don't know. That's the start of my day, I guess. The internal space on the Switch, it sucks ass. Okay, so wonderful, awesome. Even it's done. She had $40. That's what she had on her, and so I made a deal with her that whatever we went over, I would pay. She got herself a 64 gig memory. I got myself a 128. Or did I get 120? I think it was 120. I can't remember right now. And then after I got that card, I transferred the old card that I was using to my wife. So now she has the extra 64 capacity. Gwen has the extra 64 capacity. I have the extra 128. And that'll tide us over for a while. Because as I've gone more digital, I've started to very much realize that there's a fucking problem. And I'm probably going to get a second 128 for certain games, like digital games and whatnot. Because it's ridiculous. Like, the storage capacity is not enough. The internal storage capacity, and it's not just for the Switch, this is true for all systems right now, but yeah. So I'm going to finish putting myself together. I woke up and I ran out real quick, and you can tell I haven't even, washed my hair yet. It's ridiculous, okay? My hair is bad. It's another reason I'm pro getting rid of my hair. I don't mind. I'm going to buzz the whole damn thing down to a 2. I'm going to get used to that. I'm going to buzz the whole thing down to a 1. I'm going to get used to that. And then I'm just going to be done with fucking hair. I'm tired of, my hair thins on the top as I've gotten older, and I have a huge problem. I have dry scalp, but oily hair. And so if I treat the oily hair, it seems to dry out my scalp real bad. And if I treat my scalp, it doesn't seem to be what I need for my hair. I've dealt with this my whole life. I use a medicated type of shampoo. It's pretty expensive. And in all honesty, the money that I pay in that medicated shampoo that I have to use every single day because my hair is just awful. And where I work doesn't help. Where I work, I can literally come home at the end of the night and I can wipe my hand across my hair, and I can literally take black soot crap out of my hair. So that's done me no damn favors over the years. So you know what? It's more manageable and is better overall every time I shave my damn head, like buzz it. So I think I could just transfer the money that I'm using for medicated shampoo over to razors and be fucking done with it. Bald Bill. Bald Bill. It's just a better fucking option. And who knows, maybe I can make Lex Luthor jokes or something like that. I don't know. It's better. It's fucking better. Bald Bill. It's got to be a thing. I'll do a whole video on it too when I decide to finally get rid of my hair or whatever. Maybe I'll literally do a video on it and go completely bald and see what that looks like. And I mean, it's inevitable. Look, I'm not gonna do the Friar Tuck up top, and I'm not gonna fucking do the Jean-Luc Picard horseshoe. I just think there's more dignity in just deciding, fuck it, done. If I'm gonna lose it, I'm not gonna lose it slow and sure. I'm just gonna get rid of the whole fucking thing, and I guess face my destiny head on and do some Bald Bill, because that's what I got coming. It's what I got coming. It's inevitable. But yeah, cards. Got them. Great. In fact, wonderful, because damn was I in need of a card. I basically filled up the 50, and I was deleting games to get new games. I'm tired of fucking doing that. But like I said, even that's not going to be good enough. It's just the way it is. That's this part of the update. I gotta fucking go attend to my stupid ass hair. Okay, so this is it. This is gonna be the last part of the update, without a doubt. This is the last of the days off vlog. Not too much. I'm not the only one that seems to have got hit with it, which really says something about the last Sentai episode that came down so bad and hit us so unbelievably hard. I was right. There was a lot that played into that, because I've been feeling off, and here today, like, we got no calls from anybody or anything this weekend about people coming over or doing something or anything. And then I talked to Nick, and he's out hitting Mega Replay and stuff like that, and same thing, nothing. He has no, like, he just doesn't know what to do. He's just kind of out roaming, and he's talking about hitting up the arcade and whatnot. Like I said, personally on my end, I refuse to take that chance. I think that one's a little too much, but hey, everybody's their own thing, their own decisions, and I'm whatever. But yeah, it wasn't just me, and I'd wondered about that. But since I heard from basically nobody and everybody seems a little irritated and a little beat down, that's what happened to the show that day. It wasn't just the fact that it was a bad episode. It must have been building up over time, and when it hit everybody. Currently, I am feeling a lot better, like a lot better, and I'd say that if I have to say something, right, if I have to close out the whole thing, I got a friend coming over to play Rock and Roll Racing tonight, so that's going to be cool. And, yeah, that's about it. Got to take my daughter home here soon. I recorded that episode, which was fine. Got a couple ideas for some other episodes to do, which will be good. Yeah. Look, guys, it's not much else to say, except for this week was somewhat rough. This weekend was definitely, it started on a sour note, but it seems like I've been able to kind of change and shift that whole thing, which is good, because I needed it, and I feel like I did it. So, I guess the only thing left to really do is cut this video and go back to work.
I have spoken. Take what you will from it.